Have you heard of Grokipedia?
No.
Okay.
But I know what Wikipedia is.
Yeah, you know what Wikipedia
I know what
is.
Grok is.
And you know what Grok is.
Yeah.
So do you want to guess what Grokipedia is?
Duh. What? Is there a Grokipedia?
Yeah, there's a Grokipedia.
Oh, okay.
It's a combination. Well, I shouldn't even say a combo. It's Wikipedia articles that have been scraped by Grok and made into a totally new website, a totally new encyclopedia.
Sounds like plagiarism.
No, because I think it's all like open source anyway.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right.
Okay.
So Grok scrapes all the articles off Wikipedia and then goes through each one and decides what's biased and what's unbiased. And
isn't that what everybody does?
What? No.
Isn't that what people do?
You scrape Wikipedia and create your own encyclopedia?
No.
Okay, right. So
scrape Wikipedia and come up with usually an uninformed opinion.
No, Grokipedia is literally its own website now.
Okay,
that you can go to. Why don't we do it? We'll just do it. Okay, but basically what Grok has done is it's scraped all this information and it's created mirror articles to Wikipedia articles, and then it goes through the information and it adds, it alters it and adds things to make it less biased, because Wikipedia is like really biased. Wikipedia is like super liberal, super leftist.
Yeah.
So Grok goes through and makes it more fair. That's the idea.
Does it change misinformation into real information?
That's supposed to be the idea, is that it takes out misinformation, it takes out propaganda.
Okay.
And because Wikipedia, it's pretty easy to spot the propaganda on Wikipedia when you go through it.
Not for everybody.
Yeah, probably not for everybody. But okay, so let's look at Grokipedia.
People look at it and it becomes their thinking.
And that's the thing, is that basically that's why Wikipedia is so valuable to in politics, in culture, is because if you control Wikipedia, you're shaping public opinion.
Well, okay, well supposedly Wikipedia does have the public's input, right?
That's what they say, but it's not.
The problem with that is
true.
if people are misinformed, they start forming Wikipedia.
It's way worse than that. It's not people are misinformed. The CIA, the intelligence agencies, they all edit Wikipedia. They all edit Wikipedia. Wikipedia has I don't know if you know this, they have a list of blacklisted websites that you're not allowed to use as sources. Actual news sites like Fox News, Breitbart, the Federalist, a whole bunch of websites,
sound old conservative.
A whole bunch of publications you're not allowed to cite in your Wikipedia entries.
Okay, so that makes Wikipedia totally partisan.
Yeah, because Vox and ABC and stuff like that. So anyway, so here's Grokipedia, a lot simpler looking than Wikipedia. Who's somebody that you think would have a very controversial Wikipedia page? Let's look somebody up right now.
Oh, wow.
We'll compare it.
Well, come on. Well, Donald Trump.
Okay. Okay.
No.
You don't want to do Trump?
It's going to be too long.
No. Let's do Trump.
All right.
So here's Donald Trump. So we'll go to his Grokipedia page. We're not going to read the whole thing. We're just going to look. So here's the Grokipedia page. What I'm going to do, we're going to look at it in a second, is I'm just going to do the Wikipedia page for Donald Trump too. Okay, so here's Donald Trump's Wikipedia page. All right. So I'm just going to go through this real fast. He hosted a reality TV show, bolstering his fame as a billionaire. Yeah. Okay. Then it says, during the first presidency, Trump imposed a travel ban on 7 Muslim-majority countries, expanded border wall, enforced family separation policy, rolled back environmental and business regulations, appointed Supreme Court justices, withdrew from climate and trade agreements. It's like a whole list. In 2023, Trump was found liable for a civil case of sexual abuse and defamation. This is all within the first few paragraphs of his Wikipedia page. It's a list of like terrible things Trump has done.
All of Trump's atrocities.
Yeah. Trump attempted to overturn. This is literally the third paragraph. Trump attempted to overturn the results of the 2020 election, culminating in the January 6th Capitol attack in 2021. He was impeached in 2019 for abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. It literally makes him sound like a supervillain of some kind.
It does.
So then you go to Grokipedia, and it's like, Trump reclaimed the presidency in 2024, defeating Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. In his first term, he prioritized America First policies, including tax reductions through the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, deregulation efforts that spurred pre-pandemic economic expansion with record low unemployment. It actually lists things.
It sounds
he
more
did.
biological, biographical.
Yeah, it does sound more biographical.
Rather than the other one sounded prosecutorial.
Yeah. The other one sounds like how you would describe a supervillain in a movie or something.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean that makes it sound like a good thing. I thought you were gonna say Grokipedia was bad.
No, so this is obviously this is Elon Musk doing this,
Right?
And he's doing it in response to Wikipedia being so biased. It's crazy.
I've had so many times when I've looked up something on Wikipedia to get information, and I'm reading through, and the stuff that I didn't know, I was happy to learn, but the stuff that I already knew, the context in which it was presented and everything else, and it was just like totally wrong.
That's the thing, is they can present technically factually true information,
right?
But they present it in a way, in
Yeah.
an order,
Right?
and in context that leaves out good things,
Yeah.
and makes you seem like this is what you're best known for.
Yeah, right. Right.
You know.
Yeah, right. What you're best known for is
Yeah.
usually it can be some negative thing.
Yeah, like, oh, what is Donald Trump known for? Oh, well, he's known for spurring the 2021 Capitol 6th Capitol building insurrection on January 6th. And he's not known for that.
No.
But that's in like the third or fourth paragraph
some
of his
people
Wikipedia page.
know him for that. That's his chief thing that he.
Yeah. So the thing about Wikipedia, like I said, they have these, and the reason it comes out this way is they have these blacklisted websites that you're not even allowed to use as sources for writing Wikipedia articles.
Right.
So,
well, my first experience
they're called perennial sources. Those are the ones that you're allowed to use all the time.
Right.
And then they have juxtaposed to that are the blacklisted ones you're never allowed to use.
Right.
So
crazy.
What name
I'll tell you, I had an experience with this is going back like when Wikipedia first was established.
Yeah.
I guess it was probably I don't know, early 2000s, maybe 2003,
2001 or 2, something like that, yeah.
When I was using it, it was like I'm going to guess sometime between 2003, 2006 in around that period.
Yeah. So it's new. It's
totally new.
Yeah.
And I was working a lot with alcoholics,
okay,
and AA people, and I did a lot of research, read a lot of books, and I looked into a lot of the AA history and whatnot.
Yeah.
Actually, I was in a debate. I won't go into it, but I was getting into a debate, and I wanted to brush up on AA history and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I looked it up, and it's citing Bill Wilson, the founder, one of the co-founder number 1 of Alcoholics Anonymous, that he died. They characterize his death as being on his deathbed begging for whiskey. And I'm like, that's not true.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, begging for whiskey. So I looked into it, and it was this woman, Susan Cheever, I believe is her name.
Uh-huh.
And she wrote a book about Bill W. and AA and all that stuff. And she's the one that said that, right? But she didn't so I looked it up, and she didn't actually say that.
Yeah.
But someone had reported it that way and went in and edited or re-edited Wikipedia and made it sound like the guy was like, "Yes, please give me some alcohol. I'm desperate."
Right.
Like on his deathbed. And it totally wasn't true.
Yeah.
He did ask for whiskey. But there's another reason for it. I won't go into it now, but there's another reason for it. He asked for whiskey, and he asked for it a few times. There is no account of him desperately crying out for alcohol in his final days.
Why did he ask for whiskey?
I'll go into it another time.
Oh, that's weird though, right?
No, it's good.
It's good?
It's good.
If you were dying and you started asking, I need a drink, I'd question everything.
But how, suppose I didn't say, I need a drink. Suppose I said, listen, I want to try something. Get me some whiskey. Just hear me out.
Give me some whiskey and a joint. I'm going to try something real quick. I mean, what are you talking about?
I don't want to go into it now. We'll go into it some other. I don't want that to be. I don't want AA to be the subject of this podcast. If you don't mind.
All right. Well,
but anyway, the only point I'm making is that is not true.
Yeah.
It was hearsay. So I picked through the article, through the Wikipedia entry, from beginning to end, and there was so much stuff that was just, myths and folklore and presented as history. So anyone going to it would think that that's correct. So that idea has been repeated all throughout the AA fellowship, that Bill, if it wasn't for the nurse that refused him the whiskey, he would have died drunk.
Right. And
it's not true.
they have this facade of credibility because they're citing sources.
Right.
And you look at the sources and it's like, oh, this is some historian's take on this.
Yeah.
And it's written as fact in a Wikipedia article that everybody can read.
Right.
And it says, well, we have proof of this. We have a citation. And nobody's going to go buy the book and read how the historian wrote about it to find out what and where the historian got the information to find out if that's true or if that's an opinion or if that's a little bit shaky. You're just going to read the Wikipedia page and say, oh, that must be true.
Yep.
And that's what people do. And that's what I did throughout high school, of course.
I think that's how many students are like preparing their papers and their term papers and whatnot.
Oh, not anymore. Now they're using AI.
Oh, yeah, that's
They don't
true.
even use Wikipedia anymore.
They don't use that.
They don't even use Wikipedia anymore.
They don't even have to write it themselves now.
No, they don't have to write anything.
Terrible.
They don't have to write anything.
Yeah.
So here, name a source that you might use, like a news source, a website or a publication that you want to see if it's a perennial source, if it's sometimes okay, or if it's blacklisted by Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. Let's say Breitbart.
Okay. I did mention Breitbart already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. How about Citizens Press?
We'll do that too. Here's Breitbart. Breitbart is, due to persistent abuse, Breitbart News is on the Wikipedia spam blacklist.
Okay.
So you can't use Breitbart as a source for anything. And to compare it, because I love comparing Breitbart to Vox, which is totally liberal, and liberals pretend it's some sort of neutral outlet, but it's basically the leftist equivalent to Breitbart.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Vox.
Yeah.
Vox is, there it is.
There
Yep,
it is.
green. Totally
Green.
considered generally reliable.
Well, I know who's going to be. Politico's going to be green.
Yeah. All those are going to be.
Yeah.
So what was another one you named?
Oh, Citizens Press? Is that the name of it? Actually, that's not a news source. That's an aggregator, right?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like
the Drudge replacement.
Correct.
Yep. No, so that's not going to be on.
That's not going to be on there.
No.
Okay.
Can you think of one?
How about the New York Post?
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Blacklisted.
Oh, well.
There is a consensus the New York Post is generally unreliable for factual reporting.
Yeah.
So you can't reference, like, isn't that is that New York's oldest newspaper, is the New York Post?
I think so. It was founded by...
Oh, was it founded by Hamilton?
Hamilton.
And you're not allowed to reference it on Wikipedia.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you can go to the play.
The what?
You can go to the play, Hamilton.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. The play. Right.
Yeah. All right, one more. How about, let me think. How about The Hill?
The Hill? Okay.
Yeah.
Which I don't like The Hill, actually, but
I'll see stuff. I
Hill is
don't
green.
go to it. It's green?
considered generally reliable. Yeah.
National Review?
Okay. National Review. It's okay. It's yellow. There's no consensus on the reliability.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So it is a partisan source whose statements should be attributed. So they don't like them for...
They're conservative, but they hate Trump, so we'll let them slide.
Yeah, but they don't like Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what it is. It's just so weird that, right above that is National Enquirer is red, right? So that's blacklisted. So they put New York Post and National Enquirer in the same category of unreliability.
Yeah.
It's like, but New York Times, Washington Post, that's all green. That's all green on
The New
here.
York Post has gone, has vacillated between being totally ridiculous and being...
New York Post or
New
Times?
York Post.
Oh, okay.
New York Post. Well,
Yeah.
The New York Times is totally ridiculous all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, it used to be a good paper.
Of course.
Yeah, the New York Post was okay, and then it went totally bananas for a while. And it seems a bit better now.
It's just so weird that you could put the Washington Post, which is one of the most partisan leftist newspapers I've ever seen, just fully greenlit. This is great, totally reliable for Wikipedia.
How about the Washington Times?
Oh, no way. Okay, that's yellow.
That's yellow.
Yeah. So marginally reliable, it says. So anyway, the point is, it's like, imagine any encyclopedia entry that is only written based off of those green sources,
Right.
and explicitly includes any of those red sources. It's like you would just get the most liberal leftist slop imaginable.
Yeah.
And that's what Wikipedia looks like, to be honest.
But if you can be conservative,
Yeah.
and hate Trump, you'll be green lighted on this page, it seems, or at least yellowed.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, because then they get credit for not just being totally partisan.
Right.
Say, oh, we're letting these conservative
It's
publications.
ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
It's ridiculous.
That's correct. Because anything having to do, if it's Trump, it's horrible. If it's Trump, it's wrong. Anything Trump is wrong. Even the ballroom, for example.
Okay.
All right. The ballroom, you know more about the ballroom than I do. I think didn't you have a TikTok about the ballroom?
I don't know if I know more about it than you. I did put,
Well, no,
I put a TikTok out about the East Wing.
Oh,
It's more about the East Wing than the ballroom, but yes.
Okay, but that's where the ballroom is.
Yeah, but my point is I know more about
the
East Wing than the ballroom, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've been through there. You've walked through there.
Yeah.
I've never been in the main section of the White House. I've only been in the administrative part,
Yes.
So
on the complex.
Yeah, on the complex. So I don't know anything about it. So I know what I read in the news, and I see the pictures, and I see this ballroom derangement syndrome that everybody seems to have.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And tell me about it. I mean, this is not the first time the White House has been changed.
Right.
We know about the tennis courts. We know. Oh, wait, I want to mention something. This kind of stuff bothers me, even with conservative publications.
Okay.
Right. So I'm reading something somewhere, and they're talking about, well, Obama pulled out the tennis courts and put in basketball court.
Okay.
And they're like, and it cost $300,000 to do.
Yeah.
And then I read something else that says, no, it wasn't 300,000, it was 30,000. And it was dual use. It was convertible from tennis to basketball, whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like even information coming from conservatives, it gets very...
Yeah, and also it is definitely disingenuous to pretend that ripping down a tennis court is the equivalent to demolishing an entire wing.
Well, that's true.
That's not even similar.
I know, but there are other... Okay.
I know, but you lose credibility when you do that because nobody thinks that's similar. Nobody thinks that's similar.
Nixon covered up the pool, right?
Yeah, okay.
I would have rather had the pool than had the press come in there.
Yeah.
I'd rather them be outside.
Yes.
But it's funny because Trump is always talking about, it's just come up a couple of times, like expand the Brady room, expand the press room.
Yeah, the press room.
Yeah. And
it's really tiny.
It's really tiny.
It is really tiny.
Yeah, but what is never brought up, they give, Trump says, well, we don't want you to be too comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That is the idea. That was the original idea in building it and keeping it small and not finishing it, because it's rather crude. It's a crude room.
Yeah.
It's not ornate at all. So it looks like it's in somebody's basement.
Okay.
And
I mean, I've been in it. It is small.
It's small. The seats are cramped. You're sitting like this next to everybody, all the other reporters. And it's intentionally made that way. They don't want the press to become comfortable. Okay. They want you to be on guard. They want you to be, I think it was, I don't know. I think it was Reagan was talking about that. One of the presidents was talking about that. No, it's not that way.
Yeah. So you're saying it's not just a snide remark from Trump.
No, it's not a snide remark. It's actually intentional. It's small. It's cramped. It's warm. Get in and then get out.
It is also...
They don't want people being comfortable.
And on top of being the truth, it is 100% a snide remark from Trump, which is funny.
It's also a snide remark from Trump.
Okay, yeah. So here's the thing about the East Wing.
He was probably told that, and he's kind of repeating it. He gets the idea,
Yeah. Here's the thing about the East Wing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gone now.
It's gone now.
Totally gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
I'll admit.
It's just a big hole in the ground and a hole in the wall.
It is more gone than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, when I saw the picture, I was like, whoa.
I didn't expect the colonnade to be gone, which is the hallway that connects the residence, which is the White House, is the residence, to the East Wing. That's all gone too. So it does look like, a small bomb went off there.
Now, that was built by FDR, I guess.
Yeah, it was built by FDR, which is yet another reason to get rid of it. But so here's the thing about the East Wing. I am seeing pictures online, mostly by liberals, by Democrats, they're posting pictures of the East Wing like it's this beautiful masterpiece that Trump has destroyed.
Yeah.
90% of the pictures they're posting are not the East Wing. They are the residence, which fully stands
Right.
and hasn't been touched.
Right.
And they're posting it saying, oh, look what we've lost. Look what we've lost. That's not the East Wing. That's the residents.
Yeah.
So, because they don't know what the East Wing looks like.
Well, why don't they know? We have pictures of the East Wing.
I will tell you, there aren't that many pictures of the East Wing because it's not that nice.
Yeah.
Okay. The hallway was ugly. That's the truth. The colonnade was ugly. The main foyer was ugly too.
Right.
And I'd never been in any of the offices that exist that go off of that main area.
Right.
But I have seen a few pictures they're very ugly too. There were no like beautiful historic rooms in the East Wing. Or if there were, only a couple, and they're not featured.
So it didn't attract a lot of attention. It didn't attract a lot of photography over the years.
No, it absolutely didn't. In fact, I'll show you. So here are the pictures of the rooms that people are sharing online. These are my own pictures.
That's your picture, yeah.
These are my own pictures, but people are sharing these saying these are the East Wing, and they're not. That's the East Room.
Right.
The East Room is part of the residence.
Right.
It's the easternmost room of the residence.
Right.
And it's this giant, I mean, I don't know if you'd call it a ballroom. It's small compared to what Trump's ballroom's going to be, but it's this giant room where you can host events in there. So that's the East Room,
right,
which is beautiful. And that's part of the residence. That's still there. There's the main hall. And that's me.
Who's that? Oh, that's you.
It's me.
Okay. Yeah,
it's
I know.
me with a mask on, unfortunately. So that main hall still stands. That's the middle of the White House. That's not gone. And these are all pictures of rooms that people are posting and saying are gone, saying goodbye, East Wing. Of course, that going into that main room there. Right. The Red Room, I think this one's called.
Right.
So these rooms all still exist. And people are sharing pictures of all of them.
Like these have been ripped away.
Yeah, saying that Trump destroyed all these historic rooms. It's not true.
That's stupid.
Completely lie. And the Democrats are sharing pictures of that. The Democrats, like the official The Democrats Instagram handle, shared a slideshow of all these rooms saying they're gone. One of which was the East Wing. And it was beautiful because it was the East Wing of Buckingham Palace.
What?
They included that in their slideshow. They included a picture of the East Wing of Buckingham Palace.
Just beyond stupidity.
Saying it's been destroyed, it's gone. So I do think it is a huge thing to destroy the East Wing, for sure. I didn't expect it to be fully gone. But it was not beautiful. It was not particularly historic compared to these other rooms.
I think that what's going to be put there in its place is going to, I'm going to say rival it or surpass it.
In beauty and how impressive it'll be. And I think Trump, knowing Trump being, an architect like as he is, and being a fan of opulence as he is.
Opulence was the word I would use.
He likes impressing people.
Yeah.
The East Wing was particularly unimpressive, and it was particularly demure and a bit, honestly, it was a bit embarrassing looking for the capital of and the main residence of your leader.
And what's the East Wing? I don't want to stay too long on the East Wing, but what is the East, or was the East Room used mostly for?
The East Wing or the East Room?
East Wing.
East Wing.
Yeah.
The East Wing. Well, it had offices.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think the First Lady's office was in there.
Yeah, it was.
The visitor's office. I'm pretty sure. I think that's where tours began. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure.
So what they all do? Move over to the EOB now?
No, they're probably. Well, I think there are no tours right now because of.
Oh, really?
Because they destroyed the East Wing. But I think they'll probably. My guess is they're going to have offices, in the new sort of East Wing that they're going to build. Including the ballroom,
I guess.
I actually have a friend who I don't know if I could say exactly, but a relative of his is part of the project
the construction.
to build
you told me
the ballroom.
Yeah.
He's an architect.
Right.
So he's part of that firm that's building the ballroom, which is pretty cool. I don't know if that means I'm going to get any inside information, and if I did, I probably wouldn't share it. But that's pretty cool, and I think it's going to look really nice too.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I am worried. Is it going to be bigger than the White House? The new ballroom?
It looks pretty big.
It's going to be 90,000 square feet.
Well,
which is huge.
We've seen renderings of what it's going to look like.
But it's subject to change.
Oh, I see.
I think those are just like sort of like really early.
Yeah, it looked humongous, the one that I saw.
Yeah, it looks huge.
Yeah.
It looks huge. I don't know if it should surpass the White House. I don't know. We don't want the White House to be overshadowed by a giant ballroom.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think in the end it will look good.
It'll look fine. It'll look fine. Okay, and it'll be functional and will serve a very good purpose, and you can fit like 700-800 people in there or whatever it is. Now you can only fit like what, 200 people.
Something small. Well, they do the tents for
they do the
state
tents
dinners,
for the outside stuff,
which is I don't know if Trump ever did one, because it is pretty embarrassing to host foreign dignitaries in a huge tent.
You know, like a wedding in Harwich.
Yeah, or like if you remember, we went to Princeton Preview.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember?
For
Accepted Students Day.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had catering in a tent like that, which is cool. It was really, really impressive.
Yeah.
But if you're hosting foreign dignitaries, I think something should be a little bit nicer than what you'd use for accepted students at Princeton.
I would say.
You shouldn't be on the same level as that.
Right. But it's like anything having to do with Trump, anything Trump does is wrong.
Yeah.
From the ballroom to everything else. Have you seen? Well, everyone has seen these the drug boat hits, right?
Yeah.
So certain political types, without even mentioning the party, right? They are totally against blowing up these boats,
right?
That are running, massive quantities of fentanyl into the United States.
Yeah.
They want accountability. They say it's being done without an explanation. There's no evidence. They're basically equating it with law enforcement, even though it's war.
Right.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you can say officially, but yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no declaration of war.
Right.
And that's part of the argument.
Yeah.
Is that there's no declaration of war, so you can't do this. You have to, and if there is, you have to run it through Congress. Even Rand Paul is against it, right? Isn't he been very, very vocal?
Rand Paul is he's so idealistic with everything.
Yeah.
He never gets anything done.
Yeah.
It's just nothing. He lacks practicality in literally everything. All of his decisions.
He has a lot of good things to say a lot of the time, but then he seems to fall off a cliff all the time with some of these issues.
Yeah. So, and I think those libertarian types are that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's hard to imagine a circumstance where you have, just remove yourself from the context of America.
Right.
Where you have a country and you have another country that is essentially controlled by the cartel, by the way.
Well, that's what this is. This is a war on the cartels.
Right. And that cartel has a boat with hundreds or thousands or whatever pounds of illegal, deadly drugs that they are trying to infiltrate into your country, and you don't stop them.
Right.
It'd be like, are you doing your job?
Right.
Like, how you're a negligent government. You're not protecting us.
Right.
So Trump stops them, and it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Everything is going to be wrong. I think each boat is like they attribute like saves 25,000 lives each one.
That's crazy.
And
what, statistically?
Statistically,
yeah.
And they say like 100,000 lives a year, or up to 300,000, depends on what statistics or how you put it together. But it's hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
If these were people on a battlefield, I mean, it'd be the same. Dead is dead.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And well, it's worse because these will be citizens, not soldiers.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But I've heard everything from like, oh, they're just fishing boats.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody trying to make that claim. Is the idea that Trump is not checking to make sure they're actually...
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They're making it seem like these are just these random boats that they see, and they say, well, they must be drugs. Let's take them out and we blow them up. But the fact is that they're from Venezuela, these ones that we're talking about. The fact is we have really good intelligence in Venezuela. We know the names of the people on the boat.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Yeah.
I'm sure
we know what their cargo is. We know where they left from. I guess we probably even know where they're headed for. We know the names of the operators on the boat. So when we take them out, we know that this is the enemy. We have them by name and we're taking them out. We know what their mission is.
It is strange to assume that the U.S. government wouldn't know that information.
Right. If it's stupid.
I mean, you would think, of course we know that information, right?
You would think so. And, the thing is that it was, this is all by executive order, first of all. Here, look at 71. It's real quick.
Okay.
Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement.
Okay, you know when that was?
When?
inauguration day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, January
Inauguration.
20th.
of this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When he was signed in, that's like the first thing he did.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. The thing is,
Well, he said, I think, I don't know when he did it. That was his promise to do it.
that was
Right.
No, he signed the executive order.
Oh, on the first day?
Executive order 14157.
Whoa.
How did I get that?
Yeah.
Harry Lorraine. 57 is my birthday.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I remember it.
Okay.
14157. And that was, he signed it in that day, the day
Ah,
he was
wow.
inaugurated. Yeah.
Yeah, because,
So it's within the presidential authority to do this.
right.
Absolutely. I mean, hands down, he wins.
Of course it is.
It's ridiculous to think that but they want evidence. There's no due process. You got to be kidding. This is actual. Listen, we've been trying to enforce this stuff for years.
Right.
Stopping boats and stopping vehicles and and questioning and giving these people due process and putting together evidence. It hasn't worked.
But they're not American citizens.
They're not even American citizens, right?
They're literally they're essentially
foreign enemies.
They are a foreign organization that has infiltrated the United States.
Right.
So you don't want to treat those people
Yeah.
with the same, you don't want to extend them the same rights you extend to American citizens.
Here's the thing.
You don't want to. That's dangerous.
They don't have those rights. The thing is, when you, I'm jumping ahead, I realize, but I can imagine some of the press going out and finding some of these soldiers, really, but some of these people who were killed in the boats, Venezuelans, and some of them are going to be fishermen.
Okay.
This is their side hustle,
Yeah.
right? And they're going to probably maybe drag out the families and all this other stuff because this was their side hustle. But they're mules. They're like mules,
Right.
coming over the Mexican border. Same
Right,
thing.
right.
These are people who are just looking for money. They're whatever they do for a living, and now they're trying to make a little extra money. Or even American citizens that are mules too. The movie The Mule,
Oh yeah.
right, with Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Right. He was doing bad things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
I think he went to jail at the end.
I forget. He went to jail at the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to jail at the end.
Well, come on. The drug runner has to go to jail or die.
Yeah.
But the thing is now, of course, the big transition, and I actually am looking, I want to see what this is going to look like. He is in Asia right now, right? He's coming back. When does he come back?
Oh, probably. I think he's on his way back.
He's on his way back now. He's done with
I think he's back already.
He's done with She. That's all done.
Yeah.
And we have to find out what that's all about. But he is coming. He has promised to brief Congress on the next move, which is going to be land strikes.
Yeah.
So now they're projecting a war with Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
A land strike?
Yeah.
We're not connected to Venezuela.
What do you mean not connected to
How
Venezuela?
would we do a land strike? They're coming in through Mexico.
Well, we got these new contraptions now that actually go up in the air and they carry pilots with bombs.
I don't think maybe they're Venezuelan cartel, but I think the land strikes would be in Mexico.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They're talking about going to Venezuela, and there being land strikes in Venezuela.
In Venezuela.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Maybe.
because part of the deal is I don't know. I'm speculating. I have no idea what this is going to look like. He's talking about land strikes. He has not said where.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's his name? Maduro. Maduro has to go. I think that's the idea.
Yeah,
He has
crazy.
to go. He's crazy, and he's an enemy. He is a U.S. He's an enemy of the country.
Yeah.
So I know that with the boat stuff, it's down 80%, which is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of drugs, and now they're switching over to land. We're going to stop them on land.
I have a feeling that by land strikes, it meant strikes on the border or right beyond the border for smugglers coming in that way versus by sea.
You think so? Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I plead ignorance.
Though I think we know at this point that we did have U.S. operations going on in Venezuela.
Yeah.
The CIA has been doing stuff there.
Sure.
So that has been happening.
Yeah. Now we do talk about land strikes. Oh yeah, go ahead. You were going to say, I interrupted.
I'm changing the topic.
Oh, well, I was going to talk about, I was going to mention about these things. I've been watching these videos. You watch one or two videos on YouTube, and then it keeps feeding you along, the same stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So I must have watched a dozen of these videos where these mules carrying drugs from Mexico into the United States, across the border, right? Or even within the border. I'm not even sure. I think it's part of the distribution system, maybe entirely on this side of the border. But when they get stopped by state troopers or local police or whoever's stopping them, Homeland Security people, and a lot of the state law enforcement also works with NHS, I guess it is, and they stop these
NHS. Definitely don't want that one.
What's NHS?
National Health.
No. Homeland Security.
Oh, okay.
I think that's NHS, National Homeland Security.
Yeah, that's NHS is United Kingdom's National Health.
Oh, okay.
Service.
I stand corrected. Well, anyway,
I don't. You DHS.
Anyway, DHS.
Yeah, Department of Homeland Security.
Sorry, DHS. Yeah. Not NHS. DHS. Okay. So what they do is they stop these. It's really interesting how they do it. Okay, they get these vehicles, and I guess they're surveilling the highway, waiting for these vehicles to come by. It's so obviously planned. They obviously have done some reconnaissance. They know that this vehicle is carrying drugs.
Okay.
Right? So it's really interesting, and they all play out exactly the same. They stop the car, they pull him over, right, and they give him. He says they stop him for a traffic violation. Right, and the traffic violation is so easy to get people on is following too close. So they'll pull up, say, driver, "Hi, how you doing? I notice you were following a little close to that tractor trailer in front of you." They do this hundreds and thousands of times. You were following a little too close. You have to be 10 car lengths, and you were only 7. And it gives them the statistics on braking and how you can cause an accident and everything. So I'm just going to give you a warning today. No big deal, but we want you to drive safely. So let me have your license, registration, and proof of insurance. They always have it. It's usually 2 people, one passenger and one driver. Okay. And it's usually like a couple, like a young couple or something. Gives them all the paperwork. Everything's in order. And he says, "Okay, I'll be right back." Goes back. He checks everything out. He comes back. He says, "Okay." He says, "I'm just going to give you, like I said, I'm just going to give you a warning." He says, "I'd like you to step back into my car, the police car, and while I fill it out, and you can give me any more information that you might have." Usually, they're very comfortable now. "Okay, we're just getting a warning." The driver gets out and he sits in the police vehicle.
I mean, that should be a sign right there. Something's
wrong.
These
people don't seem to. They seem a little low IQ. Some of them.
Okay.
But they seem like many of them just seem like just regular people. Just on vacation. And it always goes the same way. They start talking while he's talking. He's typing on his little laptop there, entering all the information. So where you headed to? "Oh, we're going whatever city." "Oh, where you coming from?" "Oh, we're coming from this place." "Oh, how long are you staying?" "Oh, we're staying for 4 days." What's in Arizona? What's in Phoenix?"
Yeah.
"Oh, my uncle lives there," and it comes up with some crazy story, And okay, very good. He goes, "I'll be right back. I just got to go get your VIN number, make sure it matches up, and I'll issue you your warning, and you'll be on your way." And the guy said, "Okay, yeah, fine." Goes over, opens up the door, says hi to the passenger, takes down the VIN number. He says, "How you doing today?" And he starts asking them questions. "Where you going?" "Oh, we're going to wherever." Doesn't match what the guy says. Maybe it does. "Oh, who's there?" "Oh, my sister." He said his uncle.
Yeah.
"Who's he to you?" "Oh, he's my best friend." "Oh, you said that was your fiance."
Right.
Nothing matches.
Yeah.
Nothing matches.
You would think they'd have that worked out ahead of time.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that'd be like a basic thing to have planned.
Well, don't forget, I'm watching a body cam on the people that got arrested. So maybe there are people that get through this.
Oh, right. Sure.
So what's he doing? He's building up suspicion. Because this is all in body cam. This is all going to wind up in a court, right? Goes back to the driver, who's now sitting in his car, and he says, "Okay, here's your warning." He goes, "By the way, part of my job is to, we're looking for drug traffickers and people, doing illegal things. I know you're not doing anything, but you don't have any bombs in your car." He goes, No, we don't have any bombs. You don't have any guns? No, you don't have any meth, cocaine, marijuana, fentanyl, nothing. No. Any dead bodies? No. That would be so silly. Yeah. But I have to ask these questions. Right, okay. So with that in mind, you wouldn't mind if I searched your vehicle. You don't have to. You don't have to say yes. You don't have to agree to that. But you don't mind if I search the vehicle, right? No. I don't want you. I do not consent to search my vehicle. Always, right? Sometimes I say yes, and then he goes to the other person. The car is registered to the other person, and it goes and asks them. But he said, well, if there's nothing there, you would have no objection. Just, nah, well, I know my rights, and I really don't want, we really want to be on our way. So he says, okay. Then he'll go up and he'll ask the other person, do I have consent? And they usually say no, too. He says, okay, because now he's got suspicion. He says, okay, no problem. You don't have to say yes to that. I'm going to run my dog around your car. And I said, no, we don't consent to that. I don't need consent for that.
Yeah.
Because your stories don't line up. So I have suspicion. Takes the other person out of the car, stands them on the side of the road, pulls out the dog, and the dog runs around. The dog alerts, like on the trunk or on the back. And it's just, the alert is they just sit there like that. Puts the dog back in. Okay, because we'd like you to, goes, okay, we're going to put you in handcuffs. They put them in handcuffs because you're not arrested. Don't worry, you're not being arrested. Okay, we're just going to search your vehicle. He goes, but I told you, you don't have consent to search my vehicle. It's against the law. He goes, no, I do have consent because I have probable cause now because the dog is going around. So
you don't have consent. You don't need consent.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't need consent. So suspicion has been converted to probable cause. Of course, he opens it up. They check the tires. They check the behind the seats. They always find a huge load. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like 60, hundreds of thousands of fentanyl pills or methamphetamines or sometimes it's just pot, which they can smell usually. And those people get hauled off and they get put in prison for like,
right.
Who knows, 5-10 year prison sentences.
Are they usually white? Or are they?
They're the ones that I watched were some of them didn't speak English even. Some of them were like they were Hispanic.
Yeah,
couldn't tell if they were Mexican or South American. No, a lot of them are white people.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So that is law enforcement at work, and it works. And these guys are doing an unbelievably good job at taking these drugs. I mean, 100,000 fentanyl pills, along with 20 pounds of cocaine.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous.
Right. Right.
So that's the land version of stopping that we slow it down, but that doesn't stop it.
And the fentanyl, I'm pretty sure that the way they make it, the tools, I don't know, the ingredient, whatever it is, they get a lot of that from China.
They do.
China's a big purveyor in the sort of fentanyl creation business.
Yeah, they're sending, I forget what the term is, it's like whatever the pre-ingredients are to making the fentanyl.
Right.
Yeah.
They get that from China.
Yep.
And I think that's what part of Trump's visit was.
I believe so.
Was to say, hey, you got to tamp down on that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, nothing happens in China that the Chinese government isn't sanctioning.
Of course.
They're not.
They own everything.
They essentially have their hands in everything. It's not like the U.S. where we're a capitalist country and we have free enterprise. They have simulated capitalism, but they've done so with the federal government actually being in charge of all these different. You can't be, a billionaire in China without some tie to the government.
Yeah, right.
You can't be.
Right.
So
when you order a nose trimmer on Amazon and stick it in your nose and it bites your nose and makes you bleed instead of cutting the hair out.
Okay.
You say, damn communists.
Sure.
It's their fault.
Sure.
They're sending the crap. It's the political party.
Part of what I was going to talk about with politics and AI, by the way, is
that happened to me one time many years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm still traumatized. That's why I brought it up.
We were talking about Grokipedia.
Yeah.
Right. And how AI changes learning because you have one example is these essays that are just written by AI. Nobody's even writing their own essays anymore, these students.
Yeah, right.
Right. But the thing is, okay, that's a problem, right, for students learning. But what are they even going to be learning? Let's say we surmount that problem. Okay, will just recreate the Wikipedia problem with AI, because AI is using Wikipedia for its information.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you have this AI that can answer any question you ask it from a liberal perspective with revisionist history.
Right.
Not telling you the truth, not telling you what actually happened or what people actually think or believe. And that's how do you even solve that? Because you have these AI companies like OpenAI, right?
Right.
Which, I mean, I've asked it things and it says, no, I can't help you with that. Like, why not? It's like, well, it goes against our values or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't. It's like, well, actually, this is based in like legit psychology. This is a different, like a gender difference between men and women that's well documented and studied and reported. And I'm asking you to help me understand it. And you're telling me no, because it might enforce harmful stereotypes.
Right.
Something like that. It's like, I can't even learn about this. You're telling me it's not true, even though you do know it is true because your values say it can't be true. And because it's a little sexist or something like that.
Yeah, but on any issue that you'd be looking up, there are different layers of knowledge that are going to exist in various places. So one AI model might have its own opinion, another one would have another opinion.
Okay.
Right? So are you saying that you used the word scrape earlier, so you scrape all of the information and come to a consensus? Or
no, I'm saying that, well, you do run into a problem if you're relying on like Wikipedia. Actually, I'll say this in a second. You do have a problem if you're relying on Wikipedia, because Wikipedia, as we saw, blacklists certain news sources that are conservative leaning and greenlights leftist news sources.
Right.
So if your AI is reliant on that as its source of information, you will have a biased AI. On top of that, if you have programmers who give it certain premises to begin with, certain values, certain guidelines and rules that it has to follow, that themselves are liberal coded, like, hey, you can't discuss gender differences. You might that's harmful. That's a harmful stereotype that might hurt somebody's feelings. That's not allowed. Well, then, okay, well, now we can't discuss a whole branch of psychology that deals with differences in gender. Same thing with race, by the way. And then you have AIs like Grok, right, where you have programmers and led by Elon Musk to say, no, we are not going to put these sort of politically correct liberal values into the AI. We're going to let it answer truthfully. But it's still referencing things like Wikipedia.
Right.
So it's still going to give you information that is biased, and it's not going to know it's biased. It's just going to say, yeah, no, there's no proof of that.
Right.
Or, oh, well, yeah, no, the consensus is that's not true, because it's referencing data sources that are already biased. So that's a problem. So what you have to do is you have to come up, in the case I'm going to talk about, well, like Grokipedia is an example of, okay, Elon Musk probably sees that problem and says, okay, we actually have to purge the data source itself of the bias.
Yeah.
And we're going to use AI to purge the data source. So we're going to take Wikipedia, we're going to scrape it, we're going to take out the propaganda,
right? And
then now Grok can rely on its own. Grok's actually created its own data source that it can rely on, if you think about it, right?
Right.
Because you have to realize these AIs. There are two types. I forget exactly what they're called, but one actually tries to reason and actually like follows steps to reason the way a human would. Logic. And the other way is just like, we basically do web searches and come up with the most likely answer based on the web searches. So if you have the AI reason and say, well, this is propaganda, this isn't, all right, I sorted it out, here's our data source, now we can use this as our go-to source of information when we're answering people. That helps solve the problem.
I don't know if it ultimately solves the problem, because you're talking about cultural issues like gender issues and things like that,
yes.
Right? But then you also have historical presentations, like presentations of American history.
That's a big one.
And there are biases there. Talk about everything from slavery to the founding fathers and their principles when they found, like, we wind up with something like, and it would be blown to much larger proportion, but separation of church and state, for example.
Yeah.
That's not even constitutional. That's somebody wrote a paper, right? I forget exactly. Jefferson, maybe?
It actually references something Jefferson wrote.
Jefferson, yeah.
That phrase. But if then you say, well, what about the First Amendment? It's like, well, I don't think 80%, maybe more, of people even realize that the First Amendment applied to Congress. Didn't apply to the states. The states had established churches when the Bill of Rights was passed.
Right.
The First Amendment was ratified
Right.
while the states had established churches because it didn't apply to the states.
Okay,
it wasn't seen as a conflict. So I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
If you don't have an AI that can teach that,
Right.
people aren't going to learn the right information.
You won't have that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this actually leads into exactly what I was going to tell you about, if you don't mind.
That's all right.
Have you heard of George AI?
I've heard of Claude.
No, it's not Claude.
It's George.
George sounds much manlier than Claude.
It sounds American.
It does. It sounds American.
Right.
Right. So here's George AI. It's a Glenn Beck project.
What?
I swear. Okay, I'm going to show you.
Grace of God be upon us all, now and forevermore.
They have no right to tax us like this. They're robbing our freedom.
So this is all AI generated.
Yeah, of course.
Soldiers, listen to me now. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph.
Coming soon. This is mostly just cinematic, but there's a point to it. It's kind of crazy this is all AI.
So which part of it do you want to hear about?
George AI.
George A. But it sounds like American history according to Beck.
No, it's not. Or at least it's not supposed to be. But let's look at I just thought that was so funny, that last shot of him. So there's George.
Yeah.
So I think he's in jeans and a t-shirt, but
Yeah,
he
right.
still has the hair.
He still has a George Washington hair.
And so no, what they did.
Wait a minute. That guy is not even close to the imposing figure that George Washington supposedly held.
Yeah.
He looks like a sensitive male.
No, he's not. But he's not supposed to actually be George Washington.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that would be a little. I think that would be a little weird. I'm glad he doesn't look exactly like George Washington.
Yeah.
But here's what Glenn Beck said. He said, "For nearly 2 decades, I have been collecting the physical evidence of America's soul: documents, letters, artifacts, the true story of who we are." That library is now the 3rd largest private collection of founding documents in the entire world. We have digitized it to create the first independent, proprietary, AI-driven American history library, complete with its own librarian. We call him George. So it's going to be they're training an AI model.
Right.
So it sounds like solely on the founding documents.
Okay.
Letters, artifacts, the ones we know, that of course the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, stuff like that. But
Federalist Papers. All of
I'm sure
that would be good to include.
I'm sure it's included.
Yeah.
But also letters from, Thomas Jefferson to John Adams and
Right.
vice versa.
Right.
Things like that. Those are probably all going to be in there. So you're going to have an AI that's going to be able to parse through all of that and actually just answer you, say, hey, listen, what did the founding fathers think about slavery?
Right.
For real. And it's going to say, okay, well, it's more complicated than, black or white issue. And it's going to go into the actual information instead of just teaching you, oh, well, they held slaves, so they were evil, which is what you learn in school, right? So this is supposed to preserve American history and actually make it more accessible for Americans, which I think sounds like a good thing.
So but it's not taking multiple perspectives and converting it into one truth.
No,
it should just be looking at the truth.
Well, the truth is it's going to take the perspectives of all these founding fathers from all these founding documents.
Sure.
It's going to tell you the truth, which is going to be, here are the different perspectives that existed at the time. This one was prevailing. This one got sidelined.
Right.
This person accepted this, but actually privately said this. It's going to know all that, and it's going to be able to give you the truth. That's the idea behind it. I hope it works.
Sounds good.
I mean, it sounds like something I'd be interested in using, honestly, because I read through letters from John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. And
but I
stuff
don't
like
want everything to be just Beck approved.
No, but it's not. It's not. He's
just heading the project.
He's amassed a basically, I think, one of the largest in the country, this library of founding documents. So
if you can teach history factually and contextually,
yeah,
seems to me that would be the aim.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, because you could teach that there was a 3/5 compromise, right? Which is where they decided that slaves count as 3/5 of a person for the sake of the Senate.
Right.
I mean, for the sake of the census, which ultimately leads to, how many representatives you have.
Right.
But it's like, well, that doesn't mean all the founders are like, yeah, black people only amount to 3/5 of a person.
Fully human. They're only
no.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that. That means I think
that's what you hear.
Right, because you teach the fact, and then you get to have some lame 25-year-old progressive history teacher talking to 12-year-olds about what he thinks they thought, and that's not true.
Right.
So you take a fact, you leave out the context, and you have some jackass come in and say what he thinks they thought. And that's what you have a bunch of kids believing now, because that's what they experience in school.
When I was growing up in school, and I'm talking about elementary school,
yeah, we
had what I would call for the day progressive types of history teachers.
Okay.
Sort of leaned on the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is in the, 60s?
This would be the 60s, late 60s. And even into the 70s, into high school a bit, but okay. But they didn't teach their beliefs as the truth. What they did was they would give both sides and say, you make up your mind. But their thing was, but I have to get my liberal perspective in there too. So they would take what was in the books, which was the truth, let's say, factual, and they would put their left-leaning idea in there, but they would do it outside of the book and say, but here's maybe what really happened. We don't know.
Yeah, but that's grown as a cancer into this horrible
It's thrown
American
as a cancer
hatred.
and has led to what we have now.
Yeah.
Yep,
it has.
So I was able to maintain my own critical thinking process during those times. I said, well, he's wrong about that. I believe what it says here.
Yeah.
You had that option.
Right.
Now you don't have that option. It's just the liberal idea.
I mean, we were just talking about the separation of church and state before.
Right.
That one itself, I mean, that's like an eye opener. That's like it's a red pill moment for people. I don't know if you know what that means.
Yes, of course.
Well, I know you know the Matrix, but
Yeah.
people use it as slang. It's like red pill.
Okay.
Like I've been red pilled, right?
Okay.
Because you listen to that and you're like, wait a second. How could the First Amendment have been ratified and approved by our founding fathers?
Yeah.
If it means separation of church and state, when they had established state established religions at the time it was ratified. How could those both have been true?
Right.
And the truth is
wasn't.
they can't both have been true.
Right.
One of those things is different. And the thing that's different is what we currently teach the First Amendment to mean is that, oh yeah, you can't have the state ever mention God.
Yeah.
Right? And you think, oh wow, everything I've been taught has been skewed from this sort of lens, with this lens of modernity, where it doesn't actually mean the things it meant 250 years ago.
People have a hard time separating God from religion. They don't realize that you can talk about God and not be talking about religion.
That's true too.
So like even like with our app, let's say, for example, people have written, I've had several.
You mean the C app?
The C app.
Available on iOS and Android? Go ahead.
In the C app, and some of I think one of our first web pages, it says non-religious, which it's not. And I got a couple of emails from people or messages or whatever, DMs, people complaining, you said that it's not religious, but you mention God all the time.
Yeah.
And I said, well, the two aren't the same.
Right.
So people have a very hard time. So when they see God in the Declaration of Independence, let's say, right, or in God we trust, or they see Congress opening up with a prayer, they go, well, that's not the separation of church and state. No, they're talking about God. It's about the establishment of a federal or a national religion, like we didn't want, like they had in England.
Sure.
Which becomes by its very nature, a religion becomes tyrannical. It becomes authoritarian.
It can.
And that was the whole idea. We don't want that sort of authoritarianism running our country.
Right. But at the same time, you did have established churches,
Right.
denominations of Christianity
In states. Yeah.
in the states.
Correct.
Because the First Amendment did not apply to the states. It was for the federal government.
For the federal government.
All of the amendments, not all of them, but most of the amendments applied to the federal government. Congress shall make no law.
It
as
was
the
to
federal government.
defang the government against the people.
The federal government. Yeah.
Federal government.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you wanted the states to be
Independent.
powerful,
Right.
and
To do
relatively independent,
Right.
in order to basically check the federal government, which would eventually and has eventually sort of grown to this giant behemoth that is all powerful and kind of trumps everything, which is kind of what we have now.
So suppose Indiana decides that they want to put a king in power, the king of Illinois. Let's say. What was the first state I said?
You said Indiana.
Indiana. Okay. Let's say Ohio.
Okay.
Okay. The king of Ohio.
Right.
Can they do it?
I'm going to say no, because what's happened now, practically no. What's happened is that we have incorporated these rights into to apply to the states as well. So like you can't. Ohio's not allowed to make a law that
so that's the incorporation principle.
Incorporation doctrine. Yeah. So basically now it's like, okay, Ohio actually can't have an established church.
Okay.
Ohio can't infringe your right to free speech. They
Right.
can't do those things because of the First Amendment, but it was because the Supreme Court decided the First Amendment does apply to the states. But that's not how it was originally written.
No, it was
this is a
not.
very complex legal
There was no
conversation.
incorporation doctrine back then.
No, of course not. And
No.
it didn't exist until the 14th Amendment, which did not exist at the time of the founding and had to do with slavery. But anyway, I'm hoping that this sort of George AI is able to make real American history
That'd be cool.
and American opinions and our founders' opinions and thoughts accessible, and ideology accessible to everybody. Because right now it's very inaccessible.
Maybe you'll be able to raise your kids with it.
Maybe.
Never know.
Maybe. They will be George AI babies. I don't have any kids.
When you have them.
I know. I'm just putting it out there. I for anybody listening, I don't have any kids.
Good.
All right. One more thing I want to show you.
Sure.
Okay. You go on a lot of weird health kicks sometimes.
No, I do not.
They're usually
No,
related.
I do not. I do not go on health kicks.
I know you don't like hearing that.
I eat healthy. It's not a kick.
Listen, when you were growing your own, what were they called?
Broccoli sprouts?
Broccoli sprouts.
Yeah.
And they
were wonderful.
Stank. They had they stunk to high heaven.
Yeah.
It was like a fart in a bottle, just filled up the entire room wherever you put them. And you were eating them all the time, and now you've stopped. You could call that a health kick. Maybe you wouldn't.
No, it wasn't a kick because I was going to do it, but everybody complained so much that I had to stop.
They smelled so bad. They smelled so bad. Anyway,
Made the whole house smell like a colon.
and you've done carnivore before too.
Yeah, I
Carnivore
tried it.
diet.
Yeah, I tried. Well, yeah, I wanted to see.
So check out this. This is from Cheryl Hines, who's Bobby Kennedy's wife.
Oh yeah.
Well, right now he is only eating meat and fermented vegetables. So what that looks like is in the morning at 6:30, he's cooking a steak and eating sauerkraut. So,
Do you love waking up to the smell of steak in the morning?
Mm-hmm. So, when I'm just trying to have my latte and that's coming at me, it's like, whoa, okay. I mention it every once in a while. I'll say something.
So what happens when you guys go out to eat? Is he like waiting to get back home to eat?
Now this is, I don't know if he wants me saying this either, but who cares? He's so dedicated to this diet that he's eating that he will bring his own sauerkraut to a restaurant. Which, by the way, Katie, you will appreciate this because...
So Bobby Kennedy
Yeah.
brings his own sauerkraut to restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a little extreme.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would bring my own sauerkraut, but it's funny you play.
I mean, what is it? Like a little Ziploc bag or something?
I don't know. What is it? If any of it wafts out, where like suppose he's on a plane. We've already seen him on a plane taking methylene blue.
Yeah.
We've seen him on a plane eating sauerkraut. I can't stand when people eat a taco on a train.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't want him eating sauerkraut next to me.
Oh, but
6:30 in the morning, you wake up to smell sauerkraut.
So it's funny that you mentioned sauerkraut. Okay, and it's funny that you mentioned fermented vegetables,
Yeah.
fermented foods, because I would like to eat. I love sauerkraut.
I know.
Okay, I love it.
I know.
The thing is, though, that you have to eat it. It's got to be non-pasteurized.
Okay.
Now, there's some people that say there are benefits to eating pasteurized sauerkraut too. It's got a lot of fiber and stuff like that.
Okay.
But a lot of the nutrients are a lot. Not the nutrients. The nutrients are probably still there, but what's missing is the biology is gone. The microbes.
The microbes.
From the
Right. Well, of course, because pasteurization is going to kill all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the good bugs that you want in your intestine.
Yeah.
But then you would think the acid would kill them anyway, right?
I don't know.
Well, I looked it up, and it does, but not all of it. Not enough of it to take away the tremendous benefit of, because you only need some to pass out of the stomach into the intestine and do all the
Right.
So the sauerkraut has got that, which is like it's a probiotic, but the sauerkraut and the fiber and all of that stuff is what they call prebiotic. So the prebiotic feeds the microbes that it eats on. So you got prebiotic and probiotic, and then there's postbiotic. It gets a little.
I don't want to know what I can imagine what postbiotic looks like.
Yeah,
I've seen some postbiotic.
No, that's
in my
not
time.
what I'm talking about.
Okay,
that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I've decided to do, I know you overheard me talking to your mother.
Okay.
About this, and I'm going to make my own sauerkraut.
Man,
I'm going to try because it's fresh. I know where it came from. You know what I don't like really? Because the other product that's really good is kimchi.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to eat kimchi in Queens.
And what's the difference between sauerkraut and kimchi?
Kimchi is, sauerkraut is cabbage.
Yes.
Kimchi is cabbage too, but it's probably Napa cabbage, which is like more Chinese cabbage. And they put other stuff in it, radishes.
Yeah, it's Korean, right?
It's Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a very large Korean community in Flushing, Queens, when I used to live there. And there were some really good Korean restaurants. And I used to go to some Korean, they used to call them stand bars. A stand bar. Not just a bar, it's a stand bar. And I think I asked one time, why is it called a stand bar? Is it because everybody just comes there, drinks their beer, they don't even sit down, they just stand at the bar and they walk away?
All right.
I said, okay. But anyway, there, like in an American bar, you sit there and they put out like beer nuts or peanuts or chips or Chex Mix or whatever they put out. Here, they give you a bowl of kimchi.
That's crazy.
So people are sitting at the bar drinking their, I forgot the name of the Korean beer, very popular Korean beer. I used to know it. I'll have to look it up. And it was very good. And you get a bowl of kimchi and you just eat it with your hands.
That's crazy.
Just eat it. Everybody,
like a communal bowl, or you get your own?
No, you get your own bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the problem with that is, though, it's loaded with garlic. So everyone stinks to high heaven of garlic when you walk in there. So you got to eat the kimchi, otherwise you can't talk to anybody.
You need to make yourself stink.
You need to make yourself stink
like everybody
too.
else.
Yeah. It's pickled. And
pickled, right?
I know that traditionally Koreans would put them in these. God, you know where I learned this? I learned this from watching MASH.
Okay.
They put all the salt and the vegetables and everything else in a pickling jar, and then they bury it underground for like months at a time, where bubbles and
my God.
Yeah, and they open it up and I hope they skim off the top, and that becomes the kimchi. They make their own kimchi. So
why
I decided,
why do they bury it?
The temperature. They want to keep it
Oh my God.
a certain temperature.
All right.
Yeah. But after I tried to make it at home, you can ask your mother about this one day.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Oh.
Siri, shut the hell up.
Okay. So you tried making kimchi?
I tried making my own kimchi.
Oh man.
And it stunk so bad. We used to come home. I would come home and I would like go into I had it in my office because my office was cool all the time. I would keep it very cool. And it was off the main hall of where we lived. But when I would go in and open the door, all the smell would come out. And I would check it. It's like, oh, it's still there. It looks okay. I had a cover on it. But if I checked it and opened it, the smell would come out and fill up the whole house. And your mother would come home. What is that? I'm making kimchi.
I think that's why they bury it.
Well, that's why you want to. Yeah, I know. That's why you don't want me to make grow bean sprouts, because you don't like the smell.
Broccoli sprouts.
I mean, broccoli sprouts. Yeah, because of the smell. But it's supposedly really, really healthy. I am going to try it because you can make it in a sealed jar and won't bother anybody.
Right.
Yeah. So,
All right.
So I'm going to try it.
Sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut. I used to eat sauerkraut. Best way to eat sauerkraut. I like to eat sauerkraut like when I used to think when I thought that I was German.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm.
And the German way to eat sauerkraut is just to heat it up in a pan with equal parts kraut to butter.
Okay.
Which makes it very Irish, and then you add caraway seeds to it. It's delicious. It's wonderful. It's really good. But I used to use canned sauerkraut. You got to use fresh sauerkraut.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to make sauerkraut, and if you ever, if you ever walk into a room in my house and you smell something, it's not me. It's the sauerkraut.
That's not guaranteed, but okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that it for today?
Probably.
All right.
Probably.
Think we're good.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Goodbye.
Good night.